Hello, this is Data Up Consulting, and for today's video I'll be taking a further look at variables in DOMO, specifically looking at the use of multiple variables in one beast mode. To show a visual example of what I will be doing today, here is a graph that uses newly created variables called countSum and revenue type to auto-update the neighboring bar graph. Hello, this is Data Up Consulting, and for today's video I'll be taking a further look at variables in DOMO. To show how it works, I will select the industrial revenue pill as well as the count pill, and as you can see, right off the bat, the count changes in the total count for the card, as well as the count of each month changes as well, or the way the graph looks changes. Now let's go to industrial revenue, and once again we can see the title update as well as the data change, though the data is the same no matter what we choose. But if we go to sum, we can then notice that the numbers did in fact change and they are different. It's a different formula. As I mentioned, it's important to know that you can use smart text to auto update the card title. So right at the bat, sum of total revenue, click commercial revenue, sum of commercial revenue, count of commercial revenue. By doing this, your graph will auto update. It looks nice, it's easy, it's quick, it works. I recommend doing it highly. Now, when comparing this video to our previous one where we had multiple variables, the difference here is that we're going to be using multiple variables in one singular beast mode instead of having, for this one example, we had a variable in the y-axis, in the x-axis, and in the series. Now in this one, we only have the variable in the y-axis, yet we have two variables. So to show how this works, let's go into the card, into the analyzer, and we can notice right away, in the y-axis, I have count sum revenue select. Now let's go down here, we can see count sum revenue select. So let's see it. And this is the formula or the way I built out the beast mode. So in this example, we have two separate variables. The first is count sum revenue control, and the second is revenue type control. Now how this works is the case statement is first going to check for the first variable. It's going to check if we have count or sum selected. Based on what is selected in the control based on the dashboard, it will then move into the specific case statement. So if it equals sum, then run these when statements, which if they work, it will say sum total revenue, sum commercial revenue, sum industrial revenue, specifically for each revenue type in the control. So no matter what revenue type is selected in the control box, this beast mode will update and pump out the answer to this formula. Now, let's say it's not sum, it does not equal sum, then it goes to the else statement and then runs this case statement, which is the exact same as the first one, except instead of sum, it does count. Now, this is the main way of using multiple variables in a singular beast mode. This is, in my opinion, the best way to have auto-updating titles as well as auto-updating totals counts for your card. By doing it this way, you can have both the sum, the count, you can have different formulas display different things like averages and so on and so on. But by doing it this way, we are able to update and get the most out of these beast modes and these variables. Now it is good to note also that you can continuously build this out. You can make it use 3 variables, 4 variables, 5 variables, and so on, so on. It's just very important to note that it gets out of hand very quickly. If it gets too big, it basically doubles the choices, doubles the code you have to write to effectively use all the options or all the variables you are providing. Now, once again, let's back out of here and get an overview look. So let's go back to the Data Up Consulting dashboard, scroll down to where we have our variable. And one last time, we can see that count and sum, as we showed in the beast mode, effectively edit and change the graph, as well as the secondary variable in revenue type. It changes what is being displayed, it changes what is being shown. Now, this is how you use multiple variables in one beast mode. Like I said earlier, you can expand on this and go deeper and deeper and deeper, but just know it gets more and more complicated the more variables you add onto the tree or onto the trunk. I hope this has been of assistance to you. I look forward to you guys coming back on the next video. Thank you and have a nice night.